I'm interested in what then becomes the role of just not only assurance providers, but also the preparers of this information. So both call it accountants and auditors. What becomes our role? What becomes the skill set that we need to develop? Do we have it? Are organizations adequately set up to develop those skills? Because it sounds to me like we're talking about a very different world to potentially the world that we come from. Clemence?
I'm not an accountant by trade, so it was always interesting when I joined EY and joined the assurance team. But I think it was very intentional from the EY side, because the reality is that there is a transformation of the profession. So as much as financial services needs to go on its own journey to deliver this net zero change, the profession that supports it needs to also go along this journey. So we've done a lot of training, working very collaboratively with the financial audit teams. And one of the sort of key aspects, you asked about the IFRS, International Sustainability Standard Board standards, which were launched, is that they are intrinsically linked to the financial performance of companies, and that link is being made. And so what you need really is you need your accounting profession to move along and to understand these issues and to work very collaboratively. And I think that's the biggest challenge, and probably what Monica was getting to as well, is this by nature is a multidisciplinary challenge. It will not be solved just by accountants. It will not be solved just by engineers, social, environmental practitioners. It requires an ecosystem of disciplines working together and breaking down those silos. And so I think with EY, one of the things that I've loved most about my experience since I've joined is all of these engagements, all of that capacity building, all of that linking the different service lines, the different teams, and the different skills to ensure that we're ready to provide that service to our clients.
I'm interested in Monica's view on the skills.
Well, I'm also not an accountant, nor am I an auditor, even though I work for one of the largest audit firms in the world. What I've found is that there's this big company or this profession called finance and accounting. And it's like a behemoth type of organization that is quite challenging to change, But as we go along, I've witnessed how the accountants and auditors, at least the ones that have come across in our firm, who are the biggest percentage, is that their willingness to go and acquire more training, more skills that just beyond accounting. So you have the core accounting field or audit field, and then they are willing to go and learn about things that we had never heard of before, how to do carbon accounting, for example. So you acquire that skill and you deliberately go there. We have one of an MBAs being offered by the company called a sustainability type of training that I just stumbled across. Say, so we have an MBA in sustainability. And this is being offered to the accountants. It's something that we were not aware of when we were going through school, that you could really train in one profession, but then you need to be, as we said, willing to get that extra competence added onto your CV. And that readiness is the challenge at the moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a challenge that people say, this is what I went to school to do. Why am I going to learn about green energy? Why am I going to learn about, emissions, net zero? It's all these new terminology that we need because it is a very crucial part of our future, that we learn about these skills and acquire the new competencies.